Okay, for our next example, we're going to do something I think a little bit fun. This says cookies are sold singly or in packages of 2 or 6. With this packaging, how many ways can you buy 10 cookies and then a dozen cookies? Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause this video. Hit the pause button, and when you are, and think about, okay, so don't hit the pause just yet, but I want you to reread the problem, and want you to close your eyes, take a step back, and really think about what it is that we're talking about. Picture having packages of 6 and packages of 2 and packages of single cookies, and figure out what they're asking, and then kind of come up with a plan or a way that you can do it. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video now and take as much time as you need. Okay, so hopefully you followed my advice and you paused the video and you stopped and you thought about this problem. So what I want to do now is show you how I would approach it, and we'll see if that's kind of similar maybe plan that you came up with. And I'm not saying that my way is necessarily the only way, but I want you to see a systematic way of going about it. Okay, so we are buying cookies. We can either buy them in packages alone, in packages of 2 or packages of 6. So we want to know how can we arrange this so that we can buy 10 cookies? How many ways could we do that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with let's say I'm going to put oops, I'm going to turn my pen on here. We could have packages of 6, we could have packages of 2, or we could have packages of 1. Okay, so I'm going to kind of make a table in a way to keep track of all of my the ways that I figure out, so that I don't miss anything or forget something. Okay, so let me start off. What's the most amount of packages of 6 that I could use? Well, if I use 2 packages, that'd be too many cookies. So I could have 1 package of 6. Now that would leave me with 4 cookies left over. So I could do 2 packages of 2 and then no packages of 1. This would be 10 cookies. So that's one way. Now, what if I did 1 package of 6? I still would have 4 cookies left over. So what if I did 1 package of 2 and 2 singles? That would still be 10 cookies, wouldn't it? Okay, what if I did 1 package of 6? I would still need to account for 4. But what if I did no packages of 2 and then 4 singles? That would be 10 cookies. So I've already got 3 ways. All right, but I can't go down any further in packages of 2. 0 is as low as I can go. So I think that's the only 3 ways that I could get out of having 1 package of 6. So what if I didn't have any packages of 6? What if I had 0 packages of 6? Well, I've still got 10 cookies to account for. I could have 5 groups of 2 cookies. That would be 10, which would leave me no singles. What if I had 0 groups of 6 and only 4 groups of 2? Well, that would be 8 cookies, so I'd have 2 left over for singles. Okay, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to make myself another column over here and keep going. So again, what if I had 0, 6 cookies, but this time let's only do 3. You see how I'm kind of going down by 1 each time, so I can count for all the possibilities. So this would make 6 cookies, which would leave me 4 left over for singles. Um, let's see, what if I had 0 groups of 6, but I only had 2 groups of 2? Well, that means I would have 4 cookies, so I'd have 6 left over, so I'd have to put those in singles. Okay, what if I had 0 sixes and only one group of twos? Now I have 8 cookies left over, so those would have to become in single packs. Okay, what if I had 0 groups of 6, but I also had 0 groups of 2? That would leave me with 10 cookies, so I'd have to do those in groups of singles. Now, I don't have any other combinations that I can possibly come up with because I have already went from the most amount of sixes I could all the way down to 0, and I went from the most amount of twos all the way down to 0. So there's really nothing else that I can come up with. Now let's count these. Let's see, that would be one way. This would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ways. So there would be 9 ways that we could make that happen. Okay, cool. Now what about a dozen cookies? We can do the same exact process. We just need to figure out, how many ways we can make this happen. So again, let's start off with, we're going to have groups of 6, groups of 2, and groups of 1. So let's do this real systematic, so that we can make sure and accommodate all the different ways. Okay, so what if I start off with the most groups of 6 that I possibly can? Okay, so how many would I need for a dozen cookies? I would need 2 groups of 6, and that would be a dozen. So I wouldn't need any groups of 2 or singles. But what if I only had one group of 6? Well, so now I've got 6 left. So the most amount of twos I could use would be 3, because that would be, 6, a group of 6, and then 3 groups of 2 would be 6 more, so I wouldn't need any singles. Or I could have one group of 6, 2 groups of 2, that would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so I would need 2 singles. Or I could have a group of 6, a group of 2, that'd be a total of 8, so I would need 4 singles. Or I could have a group of 6, no twos, so I would still need 6 singles to make a dozen. Alright, so now what if I've done all of the possible ones that there are. So what if I had 0 groups of 6? Well, for a dozen cookies, I could have 6 groups of 2, and that would be a dozen, so I wouldn't need any singles. Or what if I had 5 groups of 2? That would be 10, so I would need 2 singles. And I'm running out of room, so I'm going to make me another little chart over here. So what if I had 4 groups of 2? Well, that would be 8, so I would need 4 singles. If I had 3 groups of 2, that would be 6, so I would need 6 singles. If I had 2 groups of 2, that would be 4, so I would need 8 singles. If I had 1 group of 2, that would be 2, so I would need 10 singles. And if I had no groups of 2, no groups of 6, I would need all 12 of those to be singles. But now we've come up with a systematic way of counting how many different ways. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 ways that we could package those up and get a dozen cookies.